everybody. It's WWPWW episode 73, I believe. I think it is. So, yeah, we're getting in tons of episodes. Getting up there. We're nearing 80, and before you know it, we'll be at 90. Then before you know it, we'll have our 100th episode.
Sweet.
Who knows when that is? Who knows when that'll be? But, yeah. So, all right, well, here we are. Like 2 weeks now.
Yep.
From WrestleMania, I'm pretty sure.
I believe so. 2 weeks from from Sunday.
2 weeks from this Sunday, I believe it is. So, yeah, things are coming into focus. Things are building towards this, towards the end, building towards a crescendo, and all kinds of crazy things are happening. And we heard about what are they calling it? The greatest battle. Royal or the greatest Royal Rumble or something. Yeah. It's taking place in Saudi Arabia at the end of April. Tons of names are going to be involved in it. Apparently, it's going to just be like nothing but championship matches, and then the 50-man Rumble. Yeah, and apparently it will be airing live on the network.
That's what Roman Reigns has said.
So
I would think Roman would know.
Yeah. Like it was it almost seemed like something that they gave him.
Yeah.
To hey, plug this, like when he was going on a radio show. Like I think he was on a podcast or a radio show or something.
Yeah, he might have said it on the one prior to that, but I just listened to his Sam Roberts, and he's like, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for this, but it was really funny.
But so yeah, that could have been something that like they told him about, and then he thought, oh, I should tell that, or if they said, oh, hey, be sure to plug this, let people know. So yeah, but apparently it will be a live network special, and JR and Jerry the King Lawler will be broadcasting at least they will be at least calling the Royal Rumble. Hopefully they'll call the whole thing because that'll be cool. But if they just call the Royal Rumble, that'll be plenty. Like that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome for them for sure to just do that. So, is there any big news that happened this week? Also, I don't. Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan's back. So yeah, we could just go ahead and talk about that now. Just Daniel Bryan being back. So when you first heard, like obviously, like you heard it before me, and then you told me that was the first time I'd heard it because I hadn't been on anything all day. I was at work and doing homework and all kinds of other stuff. So yeah. I really wasn't on social media at all that day, and then all of a sudden, you let me know. So, like, what was your initial thought, your feelings, like, how stoked were you? Just like, what was like when you first heard, like, what was your?
I had two thoughts. I think my first thought was a list of wrestlers for him to match up against.
Mm-hmm.
It was like AJ Styles. I mean, I went from like AJ Styles to Randy Orton to all these different ones on SmackDown, and then went all the way to the Raw. I'm like, I want to see him versus everybody. The second thing that was on my mind was this will be the first time I actually we'll be able to watch him on a show wrestle. I mean, went back and watched a couple matches with him on the network, but not.
Yeah, you haven't seen him live. Yeah.
I mean, even when I watch him, it won't be live. I mean, I guess if WrestleMania will probably be his first match, so I guess I will be watching it live then. But yeah, those were the two main thoughts. Was that, and then I guess later on when we saw him on SmackDown, my other main thought was don't kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The way he ran around in the ring, like at first I was like, oh, those flips, it looks like he's landing on his head. It looks all this stuff, but the second time I watched it through, I watched it through, I was like, okay, he's a little bit safer than I thought he was. He is flipping around pretty good. He's not really landing on his head.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned that one of the stipulations with him coming back into the ring was that he has to be checked out every time. Every time he's done with his match, he has to go back and get checked out to see how he is. And to be honest,
for the best,
if that's the only stipulation Daniel Bryan has, yeah, let him wrestle. I think that's safe, and we'll get to see him wrestle some of the greatest talent. Like even the talent coming up from NXT, Ricochet and him. Like there are so many guys, and I don't think there are rumors that he might still jump ship. I don't think he will,
Me neither.
especially seeing the guys that are coming up from NXT, all the undisputed era, Ricochet, all
Him and
tons of guys. Gargano
is
and him,
probably
yeah.
one of the
Oh yeah.
biggest.
There are so many guys coming up from NXT that I'm just like, I want to see you against all of them. I want to see him against Cedric Alexander. I think there's an indie show out there with them, with those two together.
I know him and Gargano faced each other once.
Did they?
Yeah, because I looked it up, and they faced each other once. So
I mean, there's just I'm excited. He is one of the greatest wrestlers of our generation, um, and so yeah, I'm excited. There's another thought. Sorry, there's another thing that's that's happening, but we'll talk about that after that.
okay.
So what about you? What did you think when you heard about it?
Yeah, I like I said, like I hadn't been on anything all day, and then you messaged me and told me, and I just was like, yeah, all right, cool, like, because like he was one of the when I first got back into wrestling, he was one of the guys. Like I had been aware of him and stuff like that, but I'd never really watched at the time. And then when I got back into it, I kind of read up on him a lot and stuff like that. A lot of when I got back into wrestling, like there was a lot of hours spent on Wikipedia reading about all the new guys that I really wasn't aware of. Or had heard the name thrown around or seen posters. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea who that guy is. And then when I would tune in every once in a while or whatever, like because like I saw him and Roman at Fastlane like a little bit after like WrestleMania 31. So when I got back in like in like the late spring, early summer of 2015, it was kind of around that. Around that time, so it was several months after. Like I went on like YouTube, Daily Motion, tried to find because I didn't have the network at the time, so I try to watch all the matches I could and stuff like that, and yeah, like he was one of the guys that I really liked when I first got back in, and then I watched the ladder match at Mania 31 that he won when I got the network, and I watched a bunch of other of his stuff, and I watched a lot of his indie stuff because a lot of his indie stuff is on YouTube because the thing that's really cool about indie promotions like Ring of Honor, TNA, CZW, PWG, they put a lot of their matches on YouTube for free, and which is really awesome. So, I've seen a lot of his stuff, and it's like he is great. He is one of the best of the generation, and he will be one of the all-time guys, one of the all-time great stories too, and and he just seems like such a nice guy. Like everybody says he's just like super nice guy. Like I've listened to him on Talk is Jericho and him on other things, and just he just does. He just seems like a nice guy who would never say a bad word about anybody. And all he wants to do is wrestle, stuff like that. And so yeah, I just was ecstatic because I'm sure the past 2 years have been killing him inside. Just like he's around wrestling, but he can't wrestle. And so now he gets to, I'm sure it was a long road getting back. 2 years doesn't seem like a long time, but it also can seem like forever. So, yeah, I was just ecstatic for him. I was super ecstatic for me because it was like, there's all this talk and hearsay and conjecture from people, be like, oh yeah, he's gonna leave as soon as his contract's up. Yeah, well, obviously he is, he is, like, and it's just like I don't think so. Like, especially now, I don't think so. And like, and so yeah, I don't know. Like, but yeah, my first thought was, okay, I want him to finally, be able to shut the Miz up. Like, like that was the first thing that popped in my head because
I think that needs to boil at next WrestleMania.
That would be good. Yeah,
I really do.
That would be awesome. Like, kind of keep that going. Keep Miz stealing his moves and kind of keep the tension building between them. And yeah, that would be awesome. And then I was like, him and AJ Styles would be great because I've seen some of their indie matches and they were awesome. And him and Samoa Joe, like I'm pretty sure they've had matches like in Ring of Honor or something, that I haven't seen. But like him and Samoa Joe would be cool. yeah, just like all these different things. I was like, he's coming back. There's all these new guys in here now, and like all the guys that he didn't have a chance to work with. Yeah, who were here when he was still going, but isn't anymore. Like, yeah, I think it's just it's awesome. And then on Tuesday night, seeing him come out, and I just thought it was awesome to see him, just give that speech was amazing, and just to see how excited he was, and that crowd was electric too. Like that crowd was like super into it and stuff, and he yeah, it's just like I was super close to crying. Like, didn't, but I was super close. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just to hear him, talk about, hey, like my wife was there for me every step of the way, and she helped me out, and just once again, always saying grateful. He was grateful, and so yeah, it was quite an emotional journey that SmackDown was,
Yeah, it really was.
and yeah, like I just am super happy for the guy because anybody will tell you it sucks not doing the thing you love. And especially for him being always around the thing you love and not being able to do it. And now, having the chains off, so to speak, being medically cleared to return. Like, I don't know what they're going to do for him at this WrestleMania. I'm sure he'll have a match. Like, there'd be really no reason to.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all know what it's going to be, but yeah, WrestleMania just got even better because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, apparently Daniel Bryan's not the only one coming back.
Mm.
Well, before I get to that, let's say this. Now that he's been okayed to be an in-ring performer, do you think that a new GM will have to be hired?
That's a good question. I Maybe, I don't know. I could see it 50-50. Like I could, because Shane's the commissioner and he's wrestled several times, so I could see them doing the same thing, keeping him as the GM, but he'll be involved in more storylines physically and actually have matches with guys or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's very 50-50 for me. But I could also see him like, I'm returning full time to in-ring action, so I'm gonna relinquish my position as GM. So I could see it either way, honestly.
All right. Well, if he does retire, or if he does retire as a GM
Mm-hmm.
and gets back into the ring full time, I think the number of matches I've read was 60 for a year, which is more a little more than one a week. In that I'm assuming that'll include house shows because he won't necessarily be on every
Yeah,
live show. Um, who would you pick to be the next GM?
that's a very good question.
Could you pick Hulk Hogan?
Hmm. Yeah, I heard this morning that apparently him and WWE are in mutual discussions about him returning. Um, I think
Hogan would be Raw. Hogan would not go to SmackDown.
you think
He'd be on
you
Raw.
think he'd go to Raw. You don't think
Yeah, I think.
he'd go to SmackDown.
Yeah, I think what would happen is they would try to put him together with Roman Reigns pretty quick. Um, but that's where I was getting at was that WWE has confirmed that they've been in talks with Hulk
Mm,
Hogan. Not necessarily that he will be coming back anytime soon,
yeah,
but that they are in talks, and so we'll see. It sounds imminent that we will see Hulk
yeah,
Hogan return to WWE, which is kind of weird for me.
yeah.
Um, I don't know how. I mean, in my humble opinion, I don't think he could ever go in the ring. But when I did watch the Rock versus Hulk 2 match, um, it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
And so if he could figure out a match like the Hulk or the Rock Hulk match, I would be interested in seeing him come back as an in-ring performer. I really don't know. How would you bring Hulk Hogan back?
that's a very good question. Yeah, yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know how exactly, but man, that's tough. Like,
Because I have no
yeah,
idea.
yeah, it's hard. Like I don't know if they would like like if he'd be interested in doing like a Stone Cold thing where he does like a podcast for the network or something like that, and like they kind of have him, promote it like on Raw or something like that,
Mm.
and then somebody crashes the party, and then I don't know, but like yeah, I honestly think bringing him back as a GM for one of the shows, I think that'd be a good idea. I think that would probably be number one. Like,
It would be interesting because Hulk Hogan is a very flamboyant personality,
mm-hmm.
and so to see him as a GM would be weird. I think SmackDown needs that exposure more.
Yeah,
I think putting him on SmackDown would be getting people in the seats, would be getting people to watch the show on a regular basis. Um, but yeah, it would be interesting.
yeah, and I've also I kind of get where you come from with the whole oh, he wouldn't go to SmackDown, he'd go to Raw. I think he is he really wants to be back home. He wants to be back at WWE, and I think that he's been humbled in the past 10 years, especially the last 3 with everything that happened, that he would be happy to be back in any capacity. Like, I think his in-ring career is over. He's really getting up there. He's his mid late 60s or something like that. He's pretty up there. So I really don't think he'll return to in-ring action or at the full time, like, unless it's like some big
Yeah.
or once in a lifetime kind of matchup, or he does in fact do a retirement match and give somebody that momentum or something. But yeah, I feel like I could understand him being humbled and him wanting to come back, that he would be okay with going to SmackDown.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, but yeah, I think that bringing him back as one of the GMs, or him coming to SmackDown to replace Daniel Bryan as the GM, I could see that. Like, but yeah, I really don't know either though. Yeah, like for sure what I would do. Like, it would take some time for us to sit down and try to
Yep.
actually think out a scenario and.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that they've got an idea if they're talking to him,
Mm-hmm.
how they want to bring him back. Because you don't talk to one of the biggest wrestlers of any generation, for that matter, and say, we don't have anything for you, just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've got to have something in mind. I think financially, I think putting him on SmackDown is the best bet. But if Hulk is anything like the Hulk of the past, which I hope he's not, I hope you're right. I hope he has been humbled. I would think so. I mean, with this couple scandals that have happened with him, I would think humility would be your number one thing. And when you see him on Twitter, he seems humble, or at least uh, humble enough to come back and be like, you know what, I want to work. I want to make WWE as good as possible. And SmackDown would just be the best place to put him, especially when if Daniel Bryan's coming back to a relatively full-time schedule. With that being said, there seems to be more talks with a lot of other people coming back. Rey Mysterio, I mean, even though he's going to be part owner in another company in, I can't remember, the South somewhere, another lucha company there. He was pulled from a date from a wrestling match that is kind of interesting. Oh no, he pulled from the San Diego show, the New Japan, New World,
Oh, really?
New Japan promo that he was supposed to take Jericho's place. He was pulled from that. So his return might be imminent. I could see him easily being in the Greatest Battle Royal, Royal Rumble. Sorry, Royal. Stop saying Battle Royal. It's Royal Rumble, Greatest Royal Rumble in April. Um, there's increasing talks about Batista coming back. There's increasing talks about Bobby Lashley being around. I mean, we're getting King Ricochet on NXT. We're getting EC3 on NXT. I mean, this is a prime time to start watching WWE networks.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with Vince going off and doing the XFL stuff, and Hunter becoming more of more of a leader in the company now. I mean,
Yeah.
this is an interesting time to watch WWE. So we should watch WWE and see where it goes from here.
Agreed, 100%. That took a big chunk of time. That. So yeah, we'll jump right into.
Do you want me to start Raw, or do you want to start Raw?
Yeah, I'll let you go ahead and jump in and start talking about Monday Night Raw. So what did you think about Monday Night Raw? What did you like? What didn't you like? What worked?
At first, I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did last week, and I still don't like it as much as I did last week. But there were aspects of it that I enjoyed. I liked what Roman did in the beginning. I liked him coming out. And the only bad thing about WWE is they like to take things that they've already done or that they're doing right now. I mean, it's the same storyline similar storyline, not the same, as the stuff going on with Ciampa and Gargano. Gargano, this past week, I haven't watched it yet, but this past week, last week he got fired. Or he not got fired. Or a couple weeks ago, whatever that was. He's no longer with the company, quote unquote. But then this week he shows up and attacks Ciampa. And it's kind of the similar thing. Roman Reigns was temporarily suspended, comes by, gets handcuffed and all that stuff, and then Brock comes out and starts beating him up. My biggest pet peeve with this whole segment was Brock Lesnar. Like he didn't do much. He did the chair shots and stuff was really good, but him tipping over the gurney or the thing that he was on and stuff, that was kind of lame. I liked the dragging it, but just standing there, like, what do I do next? What do I do next? It threw me off a little bit, but I liked Roman Reigns. Roman is a star right now. He's doing everything and saying everything the way he should be saying it. He's being that underdog-ish kind of character. So I liked everything that he did. Let's see what else. I loved the Alexa Bliss Nia Jax storyline. The match wasn't too good, but I mean there were aspects of the Asuka Alexa match, the flipping powerbomb. She does that really well off the turnbuckle. That was really well done. I love the storyline between her and Nia. I love that stuff going on. I love the Miz, love Rollins and Finn Balor. I love that storyline. Love the Braun Strowman storyline. I love that. He's got to find a partner. I hope it's somebody interesting and somebody cool. I would love to even see Samoa Joe come back for a bit and be his partner. It'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But I think it would have to be more of because they're trying to push him face, Braun face.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think it would have to be somebody face. Elias isn't a face right now.
Yeah.
But I mean that's the rumor jumping around that it's going to be him. I think it would have to be somebody who is either getting ready to turn face or something like that.
Like it would be cool if it was Samoa Joe, but like Samoa Joe is much better as a heel, and I feel like they probably want him in the pipeline to be one of Roman's post-Mania feuds.
And that's the rumor, is that's what's gonna happen. So you're absolutely right. I loved Sheamus and Cesaro's promo. We do everything. We sleep together. That was like, whoa, that was funny.
Oh, grow up! He means room together. Yeah, that was
pretty funny.
That was good.
And Braun's response was, "You guys sleep together?" Like that was really funny. So yeah, everything Braun is doing and has done is gold. Like there's not anything that Braun has done that I've hated. Cena again, he's playing the heelish character. He's playing the heel to Undertaker's not heel, whatever he's going to come back as. And I liked that Kane showed up. And I liked that Kane chokeslammed John because that just makes sense to me. I like that. For the last thing, I'm trying to think of what else happened that I like. I can't remember anything else, but the Hulu version didn't include the Ultimate Deletion.
What?
That wasn't on Hulu. Hulu's people came out they didn't come out and say. somebody had called Hulu. It came out that Hulu didn't make the decision to cut it. My guess is because it's the Hardys' kind of intellectual property, they didn't want that out there without getting kind of getting paid. Is my guess, and I don't blame them. I mean, it's their thing. That's fine. But I did find it on YouTube, and I loved it. I love the Ultimate Deletion. It did everything it needed to do, and it held back everything that I can't wait to see. That we've seen in all of the deletion stuff that was put out before. Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed all of it. There was rumors that Vince McMahon wasn't. He was worried about it. He didn't think it would work, and then it happened, and he's super excited about it now. It looks like they're going to do more. I can't wait. The biggest thing coming out of it, what happens? What happens to Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, that's.
My thought is they're going to repackage him. They're going to repackage, not necessarily Bray Wyatt, but they're going to repackage him into something. What it is, I don't know. I hope it's some version of something like the Wyatt, not Wyatts, like the Hardys. Like I hope it's some kind of something.
Yeah. Or what if it's like a Bray Wyatt who's like, I've seen the light, brother Matt, or something like something kind of like that.
Something like that. But it looks like they're going to repackage him, which I'm excited about. So yeah, Raw was good. It was better than I thought it might have been, and it was mostly the stuff we needed to see. And there's also rumors that the whole Undertaker thing may not happen until the Go Home show. Like he may not come out and say accept until then, which I'm fine with. Throwing Kane out there.
It just has to be. It has to be. It has to be done great. Like
yes.
On the Go Home show, like it has to be an epic segment.
Agreed. Yeah. Those are my thoughts on Raw. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, basically everything you just said. Yeah, like I really really liked it too. Probably not as much as last week's, but yeah, I really really liked it. All the stuff with Roman, like I kind of told you, I was like it kind of reminded me of like Goldberg WCW, like everything that like because like they would do stuff like that in WCW all the time, where somebody would get. And then even in, the Austin versus McMahon era, they did stuff like that where the cops would come and, escort somebody out, and then the guy would just wreck all the cops or the security or whatever it is. But, so yeah, and I think kind of Brock Lesnar, attacking him while he's in handcuffs and attacking him while he's on stretcher, like, it's some good heat stuff. Like, it gets some good heat on him. But yeah, like, there was something about the end with Brock that was a little clunky. Like I don't exactly know what it was, but yeah, like I agree, it was just a little clunky. But overall, it finally their confrontation, happened. Their first confrontation before the match happens, and so it's gonna build and and so that all was good. Yeah, all the stuff with Braun in the bar, I liked. That was good.
Sheamus not getting into the ring, that whole leg thing. I thought that was
yeah, and then he's just like, he like points at his leg and holds it like he heard it or something. Like that was funny.
And to be quite honest, that match was a really good match. It highlighted and kept Cesaro actually. Like Cesaro, you felt like Cesaro could have won that match.
Yeah.
Which I really liked. And so yeah, it was a good. It's probably my favorite match on Raw, in my opinion. So anyway, sorry about that. I forgot about the match until
You're good. But yeah, Asuka and Alexa I liked. I really really liked the storyline of Alexa and Nia. And so that got continued this week. And but yeah, the match between Asuka and Alexa was pretty good. Quite enjoyed that. Not bad at all. And then everything that happened with Sasha and Bayley, I don't know if you saw that.
Not.
You didn't see that? It wasn't bad, but then they got interrupted by Absolution, so they're still toying with this idea. They're teasing us. They're not like, because they kind of had some words with each other, kind of, hey, let's air it out. Hey, well, hey, you did this, you did this, you did that. Hey, but you're my best friend. But and it's just like, all right, keep it going. Let's finally see it. And then Absolution comes out, and it's just like, oh, okay, like Absolution's okay with me, like, but it's just they keep interrupting into this storyline, and so it's just like I want them to just go ahead and pull the trigger on this and set up Sasha versus Bayley. So not a big complaint, but huh,
Feel that.
The kind of teasers that they were showing us were kind of getting me excited, like, oh cool, they're gonna finally do it. Nah, crap, no, they're not. But
Yeah.
yeah, what else? Did you talk about? Oh, the Miz.
Miz.
Yeah. So I liked him calling out their Rollins and Balor's indie personas,
Outside of getting
and
Finn's wrong.
I didn't know that he said it wrong. Like,
Yeah.
like everybody.
Prince Nevitt.
Nevitt. Like, oh, I thought that he did say Devitt. Like, I
Oh.
just thought that the D kind of got drowned out,
Gotcha.
and so it sounded like Nevitt. Like I thought that he said, like, I thought that he did say it right, but then everybody's like, oh, it sounded like he said Nevitt, but like, hey, maybe he did say it wrong, or maybe it was Devitt, but the D kind of got drowned out. I don't know, but regardless of that, it makes it funnier.
Yes.
Like it makes him seem like much more of a heel. Like he should have done it on, like, if he called him Taylor Black instead of Tyler Black,
Yep.
or something like that. Like, Taylor Black and Prince Nevitt, and it was just like, oh, he got their indie names wrong because he doesn't care about them, because he thinks that they're, these two guys can't beat him like that. Like,
Agreed.
but regardless, it still plays off like that, and it works and stuff like. And I did like that, and where he's just like, I'm gonna send Tyler Black and Prince Nevitt back to the bingo halls and stuff like all that stuff was good. And so yeah, I don't know who's gonna win this feud.
My early prediction is it's gonna be I was gonna say Tyler Black. It's gonna be
It's gonna be
Rollins,
Rollins.
because he mentioned that winning the Intercontinental title would cause him to be a Grand Slam champion.
Hmm.
And I think that would be an interesting thing to bring up when the Shield is able to be back together. If they're gonna still continue that Shield wanting to break up and start Dean as the bad guy this time, I don't know. I think it might be a little too late, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I think he wins it at WrestleMania, unless they're gonna try to push Finn. But
Yeah.
I think Finn is this kind of character that will always be in the chase, but never necessarily win outside of his, him being the first Universal Champion. So, but I think it'll be Rollins. I think he's going to win the feud.
Okay.
That's my early prediction.
Yeah, 'cause I don't really know who will either, but like I really don't know who will, but yeah, I could totally see it being Rollins. That kind of seems to be the popular opinion, is that it will be Rollins. But yeah, so that all was good. Can't wait to see that. But yeah, it's kind of funny that they're doing the triple threats for both of the secondary titles on both shows. So
Yeah, well, they have to get all these names in to WrestleMania so that everybody can make their payday. And so you got to have two Rumbles, two Battle Royals, I should say, to get all of the women on the roster and all of the men on the roster in. And now you have to have triple threats and all these other different things to have all your other main stars on the card. And I think that's going to be what they're going to see when they stop doing since they're stopped doing the brand split pay-per-views. They're going to see that they're going to have to saturate the shows with a bunch of their names, and so they're going to have multi-person matches, which I'm fine with. I actually like them more with that. I think they can do more in the ring, and I think they're more spectacular, if you will. But I understand, not doing them all the time. But I would rather see multi-person matches all the time. But I don't know. I think I read that WrestleMania, as of right now, is penciled in to be over 6 hours.
Pre-show and all that included.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was pre-show and all included, but
dang.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long show.
Yeah, like last year's was long. The years before that was long. So
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. I mean, WrestleMania should be the show of all shows. It
yeah,
should be
exactly.
the
Yeah,
longest show. And I mean, it may not, we may not like it when we're watching it and stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
But I mean, it should be the longest show there is.
exactly. And but yeah, I also really liked everything that's going on with Cena. I liked everything that went down. I was hoping there would be, because they're in Texas, so I was hoping there would be some kind of, you know, something from Taker since they were in Texas. Like, and I really got myself excited up for that.
Yeah.
And then I was let down. I was like, the King coming out was cool. I totally dig that. I get that. And so hey, maybe for all we know, we'll find out that he was sent by Taker or something. Who knows? But yeah, so it was uh, all the stuff that he's saying that he's doing. It's just like very passionate, and it totally works, and it's really good stuff, and he is healing it up, which is cool. To kind of see this edgier side of John Cena that a lot of people don't remember from back when.
I know, because I didn't know that Thugonomics guy either.
And which I kind of remember that a little bit, but so yeah, it's pretty cool to see this, it being one-sided, and then eventually when Taker does come back, it'll be pretty epic. So yeah, I think saving him till the go home show, like I would prefer 2 appearances.
I would too.
But if they're gonna save it for the go home show, you know, like I said, they have to do it justice. They have to do it pretty epic, and which I'm fine with that actually too. But so yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, and then finally just the ultimate deletion. Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. It was amazing. Like all those adjectives.
It was more crisp, in my opinion, compared to the other ones.
Yes.
Like there was something that flowed better for me.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, it was very quirky and odd, which we all figured would happen.
Chair of wheels, mower of lawns. That was funny.
That was pretty good. And then like earlier where he's talking to the boat, and then he flips the boat over, and then just like just everything that happened in it was great. And all like the pre-deletion stuff where he was like his wife was playing piano, and then he was out in the lake, like, and then where he was talking to the giraffe that has the soul of George Washington.
I actually didn't see that part.
Oh, you didn't see that?
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, they aired a couple clips like leading up to.
Oh, okay.
Throughout the whole episode.
Then I didn't see any of those.
Where he was, where like his wife was like playing the piano and stuff, and he's sitting there just like ooh, the great battle is near, and all that stuff. And then there was one where he's going across the lake in the boat. I can't remember what he named the boat, but it was something.
I know it.
It was something fun. It was something funny, but yeah. So he's going across. He's like, this is the lake of reincarnation, and he was, and then like he like leans back, and he's just like, I am here, Bray Wyatt, and then it like pans out. It's like really goofy. And then yeah, but it was so much fun. It was real goofy in a good way. Yes,
Skarsgård, the dilapidated boat.
Skarsgård. Yes, that's what it was. I knew it was like an actor's last name. Like yeah, Skarsgård. Yeah, it was funny, but yeah, just all the stuff that happened.
Appearing out of nowhere and just not being there anymore. That was kind of weird and cool.
I loved the Scooby-Doo type thing that happened at the graveyard looking thing.
Yeah.
That killed me. That was awesome. Like, that was like, where he's just like, I'm over here, eater of worlds, and then he would run over and hit, and then he would, because they kind of played it in that sort of slow-mo, sped-up weird thing and stuff. And then, he would just run over and, like, I forgot all the nicknames he said, but, he'd be like, I'm over here, eater of worlds, and then, you know, all of a sudden he'd be over on the other side. He's like, I'm over here, you know, like all that stuff was great.
And it's
That
prancing away from that place. I can't remember what it's called either. From the thing, he prances off. That was really
yeah,
fun
that
too.
was fun. And then they get to, oh, I forgot what it was called, the Dome of Deletion or whatever. The barn that had the ring inside it. I think it was called the Dome of Deletion or something. Um, but yeah, just the way it ended and stuff like that was, yeah, like where he, you know, through the globe, you know, he flips the boat and it's the old guy and he throws the globe up and then all of a sudden Brother Nero appears. You know, Jeff is there and he's singing. You know, he's got the whole world in his hands. Like that was very, like you said, it was very weird and cool. Like
Yeah.
he's like, like I was waiting for him to pop up. I was like, where's Brother Nero? Where is he? And then he finally popped up and I was like, oh yeah. Like, yeah, it was fun. It was just so fun to watch.
Senor Benjamin, fetch Bray's body from the lake. It's not there. Wonderful. Like yeah, it was magical. It was great. I mean, it's low budget and hilarious and well done, and so I can't wait to see something else, something bigger, something really well done. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too. It was wonderful.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I can't wait for them to do more stuff like this. I can't wait to see who the next feud is for him. I can't wait to see what happens to Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because like I don't think he'll just come back and be seeking revenge. There will be something different about him. So, like, whether it's like you kind of suspect a total repackage of Bray Wyatt, or if it's just a change, if it's still Bray Wyatt but it's a change in character or whatever it is. Like, I'm excited to see what that will be.
Agreed.
So, all right, well, I guess we can call Monday Night Raw good.
All right, what grade would you give it?
I'd give it a B plus.
Yep, me too. It wasn't as good as last week, but still, I'd give obviously the Ultimate Deletion. I give it an A plus because it was well done.
Yes.
Everything else was a B plus. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, now moving from the Raw, let's move over to a SmackDown Live. Caleb, what did you think about SmackDown Live?
I enjoyed SmackDown. I like we talked about earlier, all the stuff with Daniel Bryan opening the show was fantastic. It was a great way to open the show, stuff like that. And I loved how, you know, he was kind of playing, you know, talking about the, you know, oh, I had to quit, I had to retire, blah, blah, and then stuff like that. And he just like he said, and then he said something to be like, you know, there's also some other news, and then everybody like freaked out. Like that was cool. And but yeah, he's and then he was just like, you know, all right, now on to the fun stuff, and you know, he was talking about, you know, and then you know when yeah, when Kevin and Sammy came out, and that whole segment was good. I really liked that. That was still at the beginning, right?
That was at the end.
Oh,
He comes at the beginning and
when
says,
he fires them, that was at the end.
yeah, because in the beginning he says it was the, you know, Sammy and Kevin aren't here right now.
Yeah.
So let me go into
So
let me go into the new stuff or the good news.
Yeah.
So then he talks about that.
Okay,
All the Kevin and stuff.
Yeah. I was kind of bleeding them together.
Yep,
But,
no, it makes sense.
But yeah, it was it was great. A good way to open the show, and then I liked everything with Rude Orton and Jinder.
Yes.
I really did like all that stuff. That stuff was good, and I like how like Orton and Rude are kind of teaming up, but they're still at odds.
Yep.
You know, they're kind of teaming up against Jinder, but they're still like at odds with each other, which is a kind of interesting dynamic, which I totally dig. I like that a lot.
And I don't think it's a personal thing. I think it's a title thing.
Yeah.
For me, those two are not fighting against each other. They're fighting for that title. They want that title, and it's making the U.S. title look like, hey, this is something to be had. Even though Jinder's kind of thrown in the mix, Jinder's not really fighting for the title. He's fighting against two people, whereas the other two are not fighting necessarily against the other two. They're fighting for this title. They want this title, and I hope they use this as the opportunity to turn Bobby Roode heel. I don't think he's going to win the title. I think
Really?
I don't.
Oh.
I think they're either going to make everybody mad and put it on Jinder, or they're gonna keep Randy with the title for a bit. I don't know why I feel that's what's gonna happen, but that's what I feel is gonna happen.
Interesting.
So yeah. Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to say that
no, you're good.
I agree with you that there's not animosity necessarily towards each other,
Mm-hmm.
but they're fighting for the title, and they will do anything to get that title. I will RKO you. I will DDT you. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
I want that title.
Yeah, and I liked how they were kind of moving towards Jinder, but they were still kind of like eyeing each other, like just that very subtle, kind of stuff. I really liked. So yeah, all that whole storyline is I like actually am much more interested in than the triple threat intercontinental feud.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this feud a lot more than that. The other one's fine, nothing wrong with it, but this one just I don't know. There's just something about this one that is more interesting to me that I enjoy more. I think it's just the U.S. title. It's just a much cooler looking title, and
Randy Orton's involved.
Yeah, it's probably both of those.
And he's doing really good on the mic too for this stuff. Yeah, I've enjoyed Randy more than I have since his stuff with Bray Wyatt. I wish that would have been better, but he's doing a good job in ring and everything. So
yeah, totally agreed. Oh, let's see. What women's stuff happened?
Charlotte and Natalya.
Yes, that happened. Okay. I'm just like, I know something happened. Like, I know something did. Like, I was there, I saw it. But
those two, that thing, and then they also did Naomi and Becky Lynch versus two of the Riot Squad.
And then Carmella almost cashed in again, which I liked. That was funny. So I don't know if they're teasing. Like, is this gonna happen?
Seems to.
At Mania. But yeah, who knows what's gonna happen with that. But yeah, it's very it's got me very just still got me very intrigued as to what will happen with all that. Let's see what else happened that I really liked. Oh yeah, the AJ and Shinsuke stuff I liked. Was he facing Aiden or Rusev?
Because Aiden came in to.
Yes, he was facing Rusev. That's right. Yeah, and I liked how AJ's just like, all right, fine, I'll go help him, and then he slowly, and then he just takes care of it, and then he takes him out, and then Shinsuke, just looks over at AJ, and then just kind of winks at him and stuff, and like that was good stuff. I like that.
I agree.
And stuff, and he's just like, hey AJ, he's just like, yeah, I know you're gonna beat me at WrestleMania, and then he's just like, no.
You should have more confidence. That was awesome.
That was hilarious.
You're gonna beat me at WrestleMania. You should have more confidence. Like that was hilarious.
And then before he leaves, he's like, and then he smiles. He's like, and yes, I will beat you at WrestleMania with knee to face. And then he just like, it's like, that was great. Like, I love that. Like, they didn't turn one of these guys full on heel, and he's just like, I hate you, blah blah. Like,
AJ's kind of playing heel-ish.
Yeah,
but
kind of like, but I'm glad that it's
taking off. That scene was fun.
Yeah, like just that whole bit was great. Yeah, like everything that happened with that, I really liked, really enjoyed it. I'm just enjoying this whole, I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania, knee to face, like all that stuff. I enjoy, and I like AJ just, kind of just sitting there and just like, all right, I'll go help him. Oh, hey, it's over. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that was good. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. And that's about it. Besides the very last thing that I can remember. I don't know if there's anything else that you'll bring up or talk about.
The only other thing I can remember are the Usos and the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yes. Yeah, that
Luke and the Uso.
Yeah,
that was good.
That was actually really, really good. Like, yeah, that was really, really good. Like both teams are very very good. So and they did a good job.
Yeah, I love Luke. I think he's really, really underrated in the ring.
It's just Harper now.
Yeah, Harper. Sorry.
It's just Harper now.
I love Harper. And to be honest with you, one of the things that makes me I like Luke Harper way before his interviews, but if you listen to him in interviews, he's a pretty cool guy. Like I could hang out with
He
this
seems
guy.
like super chill.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
does.
He's just, I mean, there when he's playing video games, there are some times where he loses and he gets frustrated, which are kind of funny. Not like anywhere near AJ Styles, but frustrated enough to just be like, that's funny. I want to hang out with this guy, play video games all day. But yeah, that whole thing. I can't remember what else happened besides that. My favorite thing was Charlotte versus Natalya. I thought that match was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Natalya's powerbomb, spinning powerbomb was great. I liked that, like you said, Carmella coming in and almost cashing in. Is this something to, like, is this going to happen at WrestleMania, or is this going to happen pre-WrestleMania and tick everybody off? Or is this to make it a triple threat match where you can protect not necessarily protect Carmella, but protect Charlotte to get the loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I can even see that a little bit down the road, saying, okay, we need to have a proper match. We're gonna have a proper match. Yeah. I don't know that's gonna happen, but I think the more likely.
Have her pull a Seth Rollins where she enters into the match like 3/4 of the way through, but she doesn't win it. Yeah, she actually takes the pin and loses.
I think the more likely candidate is that she cashes in at WrestleMania on Charlotte before Asuka can get that, because technically Asuka wouldn't lose the match, would she? I don't know how that stuff works.
No, I don't know, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it would go down as a loss, but since she wasn't pinned, I think they could play off the whole, like, she hasn't, she wasn't pinned or submitted, so it won't count. She was the one who took the pin or the submission or whatever, so it's not going to count towards her. I don't know, it'd be kind of contrived, but...
Because the match didn't necessarily end, but it didn't end, so there should be like a no contest. It shouldn't even go down in the books, to be honest, in my mind. But there are rumors that they are getting ready to protect Asuka all the way through next WrestleMania. Wow. She's not going to lose until then to Ronda Rousey.
Really?
That's the rumor coming out.
I hope that's not so. Nothing against Ronda, but I just feel like it should be the person who gets that streak should be somebody, more
like Charlotte.
Yeah, somebody like Charlotte or like Ember Moon, build her up over over this next year too.
And I agree with Ember Moon. It just would make sense story-wise to have her come up.
Yeah.
Keep them apart, and then at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Because I think Ember Moon, should win the Women's Rumble next year and then beat Asuka. Yeah. And like I said, that's nothing against Ronda. I just feel like it should, I don't want to say go to a real wrestler because that doesn't.
Because technically Ronda Rousey is a real wrestler right now.
Yes. I mean, but I don't know. I feel like she would just be getting it just because of her name, kind of thing. I don't want to say this in any way that can be construed of me verbally attacking Ronda Rousey.
All you're saying is it doesn't make sense.
Somebody who came up in this business, somebody who has spent more time in this business, somebody who needs that more, because Ronda actually is a legit, BA girl. So I feel like she wouldn't need that rub as much as Ember Moon might on the main roster. I don't know.
I forgot that was in one of the segments that I really enjoyed on Raw too, was the Ronda Rousey segment.
Yeah, the promo video.
Yeah, I thought that was really well done.
That was great. It was that was really well done. You're right.
Going back to that for a second, because I totally forgot about that scene. As far as anything else that happened on SmackDown, I can't remember anything else.
I can't really remember anything else either.
Like I said, my favorite match on SmackDown was Natalya versus Charlotte. I'm glad Natalya got the win. I thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah.
Way to end that. And it makes me look forward to what's to happen later with the Money in the Bank contract. But other than that, the end. Caleb, what'd you think about the end?
Yeah, I thought the end was awesome. I liked, because they all came up on the indies, kind of around the same time, so they all know each other. Like you said, we've all known each other 15 years and all that. So that was cool. they were both genuinely excited for him,
Yeah.
like because
Oh, yeah.
on Twitter they both were like awesome and stuff like that, and Jim Cornette wouldn't appreciate them breaking kayfabe on Twitter though.
True. But you should actually go check out. I don't know if you noticed
I'm kidding.
Kevin's Twitter.
Mhm.
Have you noticed Kevin's Twitter page?
What?
He has no picture. Like his banner picture is
Mhm.
just black. His
No.
regular picture is just black.
It's just a. Oh, I thought it was just his logo. I thought
Nope.
it just said the KO logo on.
Nope.
Oh.
Everything's black, and he's gone back to his real name.
Really?
Yep, because he's fired.
Oh, right.
Because they fired him.
Right.
And Sammy didn't do that, but Kevin on his Twitter page, he's Kevin Steen.
Cool.
And I don't think he has any description. If he does, it's not anything to do with WWE.
Okay, so
he has no banner, it's just black banner and a black picture.
That's pretty
circle
rad.
picture. And I'm just like, that is cool.
Yeah, that is. That's
so
cool.
Speaking,
we should do
that. Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's totally going on with an awesome. That's totally going on with a story, like
Yeah.
in an awesome way.
Sorry.
But no, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you said that. But yeah, that totally is cool that that they did that. But yeah, I dug the whole, I'm sorry to do this, and like he really played that well. This,
Yep.
The whole like I'm sorry, but I gotta do this. You attacked your boss, blah blah. But you're fired, and then they just went off, and then he just goes off on him, and that was awesome seeing him, do the kicks, and then like looking really intense and stuff, and I was like, that's awesome. And then yeah, the power bomb, kind of had me a little like like. Had me a little like, please don't. But but yeah, I'm sure they had extra padding on it and or something just to be safe. And both of those guys are professionals, so I'm sure they were.
Yeah, it wasn't
totally safe and
the powerbomb wasn't the powerbomb wasn't my thing. It was his kicks. Like
yeah, those got me too. Yeah.
I don't know if he just realized like I don't know if he like lost some weight or he just didn't realize I haven't done this in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can jump high because he can jump high.
Yeah,
dude can vertical, like not vertical, but do his horizontal or no, the perpendicular to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm trying to say. He can jump up and kick.
Yeah,
like super high. And so his flipping around was what concerned me. Like he could have landed on his head and hurt. It's really bad.
But, yeah, those were pretty too.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, I liked it a lot. The yes kicks, he taking back the yes kicks.
Yep.
What are you talking about? Those are the world famous it kicks. Like I love when Corey does that. It was awesome. I love that. That was a great way to end the show. Can't wait to see what happens next week.
Yep, agreed. What letter grade would you give SmackDown?
SmackDown, I would give solid B.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah, I would give it a B. I enjoyed it. All the stuff with Randy Jinder, and Rude. I liked. You're absolutely right. The Charlotte Natalya match is probably the best match on SmackDown. Yeah, all the stuff I talked about earlier, I really liked. But yeah, all the Daniel Bryan, Kevin Sammy stuff, I liked, and then Shinsuke and AJ, like all that stuff, I really liked. So yeah, I would give it a B.
I was gonna give it a higher grade until I started thinking about it. I'm going to give it an A-. I wanted to give it an A+, mostly because of Daniel Bryan. I give that stuff A+.
Yeah.
That was really
all the Daniel Bryan, A+ every day.
So I think it just evens out to an A-. I really, really liked the show. I liked the wrestling by the women. I liked all the storyline stuff going on. At least we have a relatively clear picture of where SmackDown is going to WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was a pretty solid show. I give it an A-.
All right. Yeah. All right, well, I guess we can call this episode good. Can put a pin in it. So, yeah, we will see you guys next week. We will be back to talk about more as the road to WrestleMania becomes more clear, and we will soon get off on the exit to WrestleMania. So, everybody.
I see what you're doing.
Thanks for stopping by. This is Caleb.
This is Jeremy.
Signing off. Say something.
I'm waiting for the time. We're almost an hour.
Just say peace.
Peace.